weeks 1 through 11 was wide receiver. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aspire Sports Show. Tyler, along with my co-host here, and we're going to be talking about the Monday night game. If you have any questions, as always, ask in the chat. We'll answer any questions you have. We'll be talking about betting and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go through real quick and just answer some of the questions in the chat real quick. So Optimize, we do remember we were checking out earlier. We do remember you saying that. So thank you for coming by, and I hope you get well and everything's okay with the whole COVID situation. Mark, listen, Mark, we love you too, man. Okay, we appreciate all the interaction. Question for this week: Tannehill, Herbert, or pick up Hurts PPR? Tannehill, who do they got? They got, is it Detroit, right? Gigs, is that who they have this week? And
Yep.
Herbert, they play the Raiders on Thursday night. I think that's the Thursday night game. So we have two Saturday night games as well this week, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Two Saturday. Okay. So we got a. Why is that? Why do they have? Do you know? I don't even know.
They always do the Saturday. I don't know. So there's no wait. Is there still Thursday games?
I think there's a Thursday, or unless it's just all Saturday. I don't know. I thought the Raiders were Thursday night. I could be wrong.
There is. Yeah, there is. No, there is a Thursday. You're right. It is the Raiders.
Okay. So are they just getting us prepared for the playoffs? Is that why they do that around this time? Because whatever. I appreciate it, NFL. It's exciting times. So, who does Tannehill play, or who does Herbert play? Oh, they play the Raiders. So who would you guys go? Tannehill or Herbert? Or pick up Hurts?
I would pick between Tannehill and Herbert. And right now, I would probably go Tannehill because it looks like he can have good days even when Derrick Henry goes crazy. And Detroit's pass defense is very bad. Like, their run defense is bad too, but Green Bay didn't even bother running. They're like, it'll be much easier if we just throw it all over these guys. So
you think Derrick Henry's going to be RB1 again? I honestly think he could be.
He should be. I mean, if he gets 20 carries, he's going to have 150 yards or more. So I don't see how they're going to stop Derrick Henry. Aaron Jones could have had a fine game if they actually wanted to give him the ball. Jamal Williams actually started playing more snaps than him. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, Detroit's defense is really, really bad. So I mean, you can't go wrong with either of those picks because you just saw Phillip Rivers light up the Raiders. So if old man Rivers and Ty can do it, anyone can.
Are you worried though with game script potentially like capping Tannehill's ceiling? Because I saw a report that like Stafford's, I think they're saying right now it's almost like a questionable / doubtful due to the rib injury he had. If they go Chase Daniels, like, are they still going to be passing the ball, like, even in the second half? Like, or would they completely just go away from it and start running the ball? That'd be the one thing I'm nervous about with Tannehill.
That's true,
definitely.
too. Because if Stafford does play, because that was one thing, like, I was thinking about that as well. Like, if Stafford plays, at least they'll be more competitive than the Jags. Like, the Jags gave them no. So that's why Tannehill didn't have to do much, where this game should be a bit more competitive. But if Stafford is out, I think that does change things. And honestly, I'd probably even go Herbert at that point, because I think, well, are you at least thinking of Jalen Hurts or no?
I would pick up Jalen Hurts for next week.
Next week, yeah.
With the matchup, if you make it to the championship, yeah, and he gets Dallas.
I'd probably go Herbert. I know this game wasn't also like that great, and Keenan Allen's also a little bit banged up. I think he left the game and then he came back in. But when that happens, they should play the next game. But you never know. Something to monitor, because if he is out, then I definitely don't like Herbert. I go Tannehill. But regardless, even if Titans do get up, like, I still think Tannehill is definitely part of the process. It's not going to be like Derrick Henry he should crush Detroit on the ground. But Tannehill should still have a game. But I'd personally go Herbert. We'll ask us again, Mark, throughout the week. We'll have more for you depending on injury reports. And then start Davis again if CMC doesn't play, and flex Taylor or Swift. Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion. You got Jonathan Taylor playing Houston this week. Absolutely fire him up. And he looked really good. Jonathan Taylor, for all those people that may have dropped him, he's over the past 2 weeks now that he really has his role and came back from COVID, he is RB number 1 in fantasy football over the past 2 weeks.
And you know what? Give me props, because I stuck it out. I played him every single week.
If anybody
every week
really stuck that out, they deserve a round of applause, because after that, it was Tennessee, I'm pretty sure, right? When Nyheim Hines had that really good game.
Yeah, I'm pretty
everybody
sure
was like, okay, we're dropping Jonathan Taylor.
And I had him on my bench, Hines.
I did come out with a buy and sell video that week. I said, buy Jonathan Taylor. He has a really good playoff schedule.
Now, here's a question.
And you could buy him for nickels at that time.
Is he a keeper if you got him a little bit later?
I think so. Well, it depends on the round.
Where
I know some people were drafting. I don't know, but some people.
I think it was like 5.
I was gonna say
4 or 5.
If I got him in like the 5th, do you think that's worth keeping?
Depends on who else you have. I mean,
I guess.
I think so. He's now becoming the player that everybody thought he was going to be in the beginning of the season. Rookie running backs. I'll say this: Kareem Hunt kind of
too. So
we'll see how that finishes.
we'll see.
Whoa! You said you can keep Jonathan Taylor in the 5th round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that.
Or
all
Dobbins
day.
later. I got Dobbins, I think, in the 8th. Wasn't it the 8th round? It might have been 7th.
It depends on how that finishes out.
Right.
How next season works.
If they get rid of Ingram or something, I don't know what his contract looks like. Say
he'll probably be gone.
Yeah. So if he's gone, Ingram or Dobbins is the feature back, I'd imagine. But what are they gonna do with Lamar?
Yeah, but that team doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
They have
Kyle, you got Jonathan
back.
Taylor 36th overall, so I don't know if
so 3rd round.
That's not worth it then.
That should be.
It just depends. We'll see how next season works out. Yeah. Well, like how leading up to next season works out. Because I do think if he continues on this tear, I think that Jonathan Taylor will probably be drafted in the 2nd round. Is where I think he'll probably go. Like because you're going to have so many question marks. Like Zeke, where is he going to be drafted? Right now, I'm sure people don't want to draft him high, but if Dak comes back into that offense, then Zeke definitely shoots up the board. You also have players like Aaron Jones. Where does he go next year? If he goes to the Jets, are you really going to draft Aaron Jones high? I'm definitely not. But if he goes back in this situation, like he definitely deserves to be drafted higher, but it all depends.
Did you answer all of Mark's questions? You answered them all.
No.
No, we haven't done Mark yet.
So would you go Jonathan Taylor, right, over Swift? Yeah. Okay.
Are you asking me
is it-
or
Yeah.
everybody?
Is the question real quick? Is that question basically pick 2 of the 3, counting Davis, if CMC doesn't play?
Yeah.
Because there's
well,
3 running backs listed.
Yeah.
So are you starting Davis no matter what? Then the choice is just between Taylor
Who
and
does?
Swift.
I don't know who they play. Who do they play?
Who?
Carolina next week. I don't know who they play.
Panthers play Green Bay.
Green Bay.
And that's a Saturday game.
Mm.
I think CMC is going to be back.
Yeah. Reports say he should be back, but I mean we've been hearing that for weeks.
Hey, I feel like
he
that
should be back.
That Bills Broncos game, I feel like it's gonna be good.
We'll see. But I would probably go Mike Davis. Mike Davis just going to see it. Like, here's the thing with Mike Davis compared to Swift. Like, Swift still was giving touches up. Mike Davis gives no touches up. It's Mike Davis show when he's playing. So I would go Mike Davis personally. I go Mike Davis and Taylor.
Broncos are gonna win.
He does. Mark has another question as well. Who do I start at wide receivers this week? PPR: McLaurin, Jefferson, Deontay Johnson, or Cup. I'm picking up Ty. Which 2? So if you're getting Ty as well, like Ty in my opinion is a must start. Gets Houston again. I'm starting Ty. Then you have McLaurin playing Seattle, Jefferson they're playing Chicago, Pittsburgh's playing Cincinnati, and then Cooper Cup is I don't know who they're the Jets. They got the Jets. I'm pretty
This
sure.
could be a get right game for Deontay, honestly, but who knows? He'll show up.
Yeah, but you also have McLaurin now past 2 weeks as like a total of 4 points. That's not good.
I like them all more than I like Cup more though. I like Jefferson and Cup. Well, Ty though. I mean Ty and probably Jefferson or Cup.
I think I'm gonna go Ty and Cup.
Ty and Cup.
I love Scary Terry, but the last 2 weeks, it's like now it's like that time when you can't really make a mistake. So I have Ty and McLaurin in one of my leagues, and what I'm looking at right now is I think I'm going to bench McLaurin, even though he has that dream matchup against Seattle.
Who would you go get?
Ty in there.
Which question are we talking about? Are we talking about LG or are we talking about Marks?
Marks.
His second one.
For PPR, I'm going Justin Jefferson and who'd you guys say Cup had?
Jets.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably go Jefferson and McLaurin.
I'd probably go Jefferson. I'd probably go Jefferson and Ty, but it is close, honestly, between Deontay too. I know Deontay got benched, but he had 40 yards still, 4 receptions. That dude should have had a bigger game. He's heavily involved, especially in PPR. But it is close
in his own way. Nobody.
You guys don't like Terry?
I don't know. Well, what it's going to happen? Like Alex Smith is going to play. I honestly would hope Haskin plays. I hope Haskin plays. I think Haskin is kind of like laser focus. Has tunnel vision for Scary, and I do think that in that circumstance, I'd personally rather Haskin play, and then I do have interest in Terry. But it's close. I mean, Ty's playing incredible football right now. It's you gotta.
Last game, I will say, like before that started, Cruz was saying everyone in the secondary is hurt, and their one corner that was going to be guarding Ty is more of someone for a possession receiver, not like a really shifty, small, fast receiver. And the one touchdown Ty had that game was just like, it was just a layup practically. It was just stupid. So he had a huge fantasy game, but like the 2 touchdowns kind of saved his day in a sense, if you know what I mean. I'm not denying that he's been a stud the past 3 weeks, but I know they draw another good matchup. But
yeah, they have no Roby. Houston does. So then you have Hargraves. Hargraves on a per snap basis is giving up and he did last year as well, giving up the most fantasy points at the wide receiver position this year. So it's like, it's just another dream matchup. And I don't know. I mean, really, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. You can make a case for each and every single one of them. But I just think you ride it while it's hot. Ty is hot. Jefferson, in my opinion, last time he crushed Chicago. Didn't score, but he put up, I think, what was it, like 140 yards or something against Chicago last time. He crushed them.
Yeah.
I just can't believe in week 14, 15, we have faith in T.Y. Hilton again. I just
Right.
that's like the part for me. I'm just like, oh my God.
That's fantasy for you. What's up? What's up, LG? I got lucky. Well, hey, you need some luck. I got Henry needing CMC to go too. Um, who? Oh, okay. So you have Derek. I'm assuming Derek Henry. My gosh, he's gonna have he should be the highest scoring running back again this week. I forgot to start Mike Davis. Hope J.K. Dobbins does at least something. J.K. should have a decent game, I think. I got a total of 18 points from tight end, flex, defense, and my kicker. I'm leading by just over 10 points with Dobbins left, and he has Tucker. Okay, so you're leading. You should win, yeah. Unless, which right now the wind is picking up. It was at like 12 mile an hour winds yesterday. Now I looked at it and it's 18. So not that good for kickers right now. So I don't think Tucker's also like the best kicker in the league. He can have a good game, but it's not good for him. Tough question. Henry is my RB1. I need RB2 and flex. My options are Montgomery, Kamara, Aaron Jones. So we have Jones playing.
I would probably go Jones
Panthers.
against Carolina.
And, well, he needs a flex too. Montgomery's who they play? Minnesota, and then Kamara, which they're playing
Kansas City.
Kansas City. Ooh, I don't. They should lose big. Taysom Hill sucks. Hey, I think Aaron Jones did catch like 7 balls or not Aaron Jones. Kamara, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He had a good game yesterday in terms of receiving, better than what it's been. Me personally, I would go Aaron Jones, and Montgomery's really hard to sit too, in my opinion. He's just scoring some touchdowns right now. Nah. I think he only had like 10 carries for 30 some yards after his 80 touchdown yard run. So I don't know. Who would you guys go? Which two?
I'd probably go Kamara and Jones.
I'd probably go Kamara and Jones as well. Go Kamara and Jones. I traded Josh Jacobs and Mike Williams for Taylor, Ronald Jones, and Michael Thomas. Hell yeah, dude. That's a good trade. Mike Williams hurt right now. Ronald Jones though, he did, I guess, fractured his pinky or something. There hasn't been much news. The Fantasy Doctor on YouTube, he said that he does think he plays this week unless he needs to get pins in his finger, which it's going to be a Godwin situation where Godwin missed 1 week. So hopefully that's not the case. Maybe we'll have more news come tomorrow, but if we don't, Leonard Fournette needs to be rostered, because if that's the case, he's startable. Fournette is. Thanks, guys. I appreciate all the help. Hey, we appreciate you, Mark. Just applied for the OC in Pittsburgh. Yeah, somebody needs to. My gosh, I play Madden a couple times a year. I think I can call better plays. Isn't that the truth? Gosh, the Steelers are pathetic. Which defense should I stream in Week 15? Tampa Bay, Indianapolis, or Chicago? I'd probably go Indy right now. Right now, Houston is extremely banged up.
Mm.
I agree.
I go Indy. Played first place team that dropped 180 on me twice and had no chance. This would put me in the final. Hell, well, there we go. Only a 14 playoff for my league. Well, hey, honestly, sometimes the smaller, even better. Like I don't like when it's a lot
Is that
of
what they
teams.
tell you?
That's what Kirsty says. But I don't like it when it's a bunch of teams. Honestly, it's so random. You can have like Ryan here, who didn't deserve to win. No, I mean any given Sunday, but especially in fantasy, like if you go all season, you're the 1 seed, and you're losing to like the 10th seed. That's some BS. That can't happen. There were no, or what was that? There were my picks for last week. Oh, okay. This is MP. At least 50 rushing yards. Waller 6 catches. Herbert 2 TDs. Drake 16 points if Kyler isn't selfish. Wood 6 catches. So did he? How many rushing yards did Jacobs have? Did he have over 50?
I thought he had like 49. I could be wrong.
49?
Maybe that was the
Exactly.
last time I looked. It might have just been the last time I looked. It was at 49.
He had 49. Oh man. So 50. Oh, MP, you missed that one, dude. Oh, how does that feel? That's so terrible, especially when it's like 50 and a half and he has 49. Oh, terrible. Or
What
he
a
has 50.
rookie mistake.
Yeah, MP. Jeez. Waller 6 catches. How many catches did he have? Did he have a good game?
No, dude, he
Nelson Aguilar did.
sucks.
No, Waller didn't have. I don't think he had that great of a game.
He's
He
just
had
not
7.
that good. Right, MP?
How many catches do you have, Ty?
7 for 75.
Oh,
No, that's not bad.
Herbert 2 tutties. Did he have 2 tutties yesterday? I know he had 1 to Keenan Allen, right?
I think he had
He had
2.
two.
He had 2. Yeah, he did, which was kind of disappointing though, honestly. Like that was an A-plus matchup. I don't know what exactly happened, but it was a little disappointing when I was checking that out. Let's see. You all help me with the trade, push me over the edge to commit to it, and the reason I'm winning is Thomas and Taylor gang off with gigs. Hey, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys out. So we appreciate you guys watching the content and being part of the conversations. It means a lot. AJ catch. I do remember you saying that AJ Brown catches a deep ball TD. I do remember you saying that MP, and he did. And Nick Chubb 100+ yards. We'll see what happens. I do think he has a good chance to go over 100 yards. Zeke ran on them last week, I believe, like 18 carries for 77 yards. So if Zeke can do that, I think Chubb can definitely do that. So with that being said, any other questions you guys have, please feel free asking in the chat. Ryan, why don't you kick it off with the parlay for the people?
the parlay for the people. All right, pulling it up now. So a couple of the bets. I'm going to start with this one. Just I feel like the person I'm expecting probably the biggest game from probably than what they're projected is Mark Andrews. The Browns are really, really bad against the against tight ends this year. And another way to like look at this too is I put money on Mark Andrews to score the first touchdown as well. I haven't been here for any time, but to score the first touchdown, there's some sort of crazy stat. Like the Ravens are like 3rd in the league in first quarter points, and the Browns are like 25th. So if you go by that, their betting should be more on the money for the Ravens. However, the favorites are like Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, or they're right near the top. So there's money to be had with Mark Andrews' first touchdown. But in the parlay for the people, it's anytime touchdown for Mark Chubb. Willie Snead to have over 28.5 yards. I think this is his first week back after.
Like Mark Chubb? You mean Mark Andrews?
Mark Andrews for the touchdown. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Nick Chubb's in here too. Willie Snead over 28.5 receiving yards. I think his receiving yards are a little undervalued because I think last week he was out with COVID. He was on the COVID list. I think just last week. I don't think the last 2. I think it was just last week. So over 28.5 receiving yards there. And then Nick Chubb to have over 6.5 receiving yards. He's not going to, I'm sure he doesn't catch a ton of passes, but you just need one with the number as low as 6.5. So we kind of agreed on that one, over 6.5 receiving yards. So over 6.5 receiving yards for Chubb, Mark Andrews, anytime touchdown scorer, and Willie Snead over 28.5 receiving yards. $25 to win 200.
Ooh. And they got the parlay, right? Insurance?
Yep. Parlay insurance if 2 of the 3 legs hit.
I got Drake exactly right. He had 16 points. MP, you're a beast. That's why. You just need to, I think you said you're not old enough to bet. When you can bet, well, gamble responsibly, but you can make some bets. I need Lamar to give me 27 points. Tannehill just got 36 against the Browns. 27, that's a lot of points. I mean, could it happen? Definitely. Like, I think it could happen, but it's a lot of points. I think Aaron Rodgers, no, Tua maybe. I think Tua and Aaron Rodgers are the only ones to actually get over that threshold this weekend. Everybody's been under. So, hey, it could happen. Definitely. Definitely going to need some rushing yards on the ground. Maybe it being a little windy will help that cause. So we'll see. Giggs, what about you? Are there any bets that you like tonight?
I'm with Ryan here on Mark Andrews. Yeah, there's definitely some I like here. At first glance, I hated him, And after a little digging, there's some I do like. I like Dobbins over 9.5 receiving yards. I think that's doable. Um, but the Mark Andrews 42.5 receiving and anytime touchdown, I'm big on both of those. And Willie Snead's first game back from being on COVID, he seems to be the number 2, maybe number 3 option in the pass game. There was some games where he was outperforming Marquise Brown this year. So the weather is a little bit of a factor here. If it's windy, maybe they're not throwing the ball downfield as much. But Willie Snead, I think he was at 28.5. That looks good to me. I like the over on that. Not so sure about Nick Chubb over. I kind of, because here's the thing. I hate betting unders. If I'm giving you something, it's the over, because once it's over, it's over. Unless the guy gets tackled for a loss or takes a knee. You guys remember that when Patrick Mahomes took a knee? It fucked up some rushing bet. This guy had it, screwed him out of tons and tons of money. Yeah, we don't want that to happen tonight. But yeah, I'm someone who goes with the over, and I like Snead, I like Andrews, I like Dobbins receiving. I also like Kareem Hunt 14.5 receiving. I like the over on that because I can see them doing a lot of check down passes if the weather's bad and they can't throw downfield. So look for Kareem Hunt to get involved in the passing game. So those would be my bets.
Any recent injury report on Keenan Allen? No, I was looking earlier. I didn't personally see anything. Did you guys see anything?
I was reading on it. It seemed like he aggravated a hamstring. I think that was in the fourth quarter of the game. I don't remember if he came back in or not, but I think they're just nursing the injury, making sure that he's all right. And as of right now, it looks like he is playing, but it's definitely something you want to monitor. But I would say right now he is playing.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think he may have came back in just at the end of the game, like Gig said. I think he should play this week, but definitely something to monitor throughout the week. We'll know with him. We'll know sooner rather than later because they play on Thursday night. So it's nice to have that injury kind of out of the way and know exactly what's going on rather than waiting until the weekend. So that'll be good. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about well, real quick, I do want to run through a couple waiver wire pickups. I'm going to make a waiver wire video tonight. It will be released tonight. So I'm just going to give you a couple that you definitely need to look at. So if you're still in the playoffs, which hopefully you are, hopefully you won this weekend, Leonard Fournette is one if you need some running back help. Especially if Ronald Jones misses, which would be really unfortunate. But if Ronald Jones misses, Leonard Fournette, I'd imagine, will kind of take on the role and be kind of like a bell cow, get the ball a decent amount kind of guy. Somebody else that you have that I do like is Lynn Bowden. I believe his name, Lynn Bowden Jr. Right now, he has the dual flexibility, eligibility between wide receiver and running back. So if you need help at one or the other, you can place him in there. And with the Miami's offense right now, okay, you have Parker possibly out this week, Grant, Gasicki, Gaskin, Breida, Ahmed. They're so depleted, and he led this receiving core in routes ran and targets, receptions, yards. So this is a guy who just came out of college. He was an athlete in college, was all over the field doing a bunch of different things. He's an athlete. Hey, somebody if you need help somewhere, he's somebody that I would look at. And also Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, not this week, but next week has a beautiful matchup against Dallas. If he goes out this week and proves himself that he can be a starting quarterback in fantasy football and run the football, then there's a ton of interest in him against Dallas. So if he has right now, we saw base. I feel like his ceiling with rushing, 100 rushing yards. I'll take that any day from a quarterback. So Jalen Hurts, the other one. Other than that, it's really just spot guys. Kiki QT, he didn't have that good of a game. If he didn't score, it would have been a really not a good game at all. Tim Patrick, he's my boy, scores touchdowns. Russell Gage, whatever. So just a couple guys. And then Philip Rivers, if you need a starting quarterback this week, Philip Rivers and say like a 2 quarterback or super flex, whatever the case may be, desperation would be, I think, like Nick Mullins against Dallas. Hey, could get worse. So with that being said, that's the waiver wire. Make sure you check out the waiver wire video. Lamar or Herbert, week 15. I feel like I think I said Lamar earlier. They play. I think they play Jacksonville. I could be wrong though.
That's right. I can look it up.
I think they play Jacksonville, and if they do play Jacksonville, I'm going Lamar 100%.
Lamar has Jacksonville. Yep.
Yeah. So, Would you guys agree with that, or would you go Herbert?
I'd go Lamar.
Lamar.
Obviously, unless something drastic happens tonight, like he
Right.
looks completely horrible. Yeah, something crazy.
You agree, Giggs?
Yeah, I would go Lamar.
Let's see. Herbert still a good quarterback for the rest of the rest of the playoffs. He doesn't seem to be running as much and passing more conservatively. Leonard Fournette got sad for Fournette or McCoy though, didn't he? Yeah, just because I feel like him and Ronald Jones have like the same role. Like that's why I didn't think bringing in Fournette was a good move by them, because he's not a pass catching back. Like sure, he caught a decent amount of catches in Jacksonville, but it was nowhere near efficient. Like he had one of the lowest yards per catch for running backs last year. So like he's not a pass catching back. McCoy is. If Ronald Jones misses, he'll be between the tackles for sure for the team. Herbert still good for the rest of the playoffs. I think so. If you don't have another option, then yes. And plays the Raiders this week. Raiders, they're not
I
good.
think it's Denver in the championship round.
And Denver's down Boye, so they're missing some guys back there as well. So he's still good. He's maybe is kind of hitting the rookie wall a little bit, but he's still good. Do you think I will win? I'm winning 145 and he has 81. Oh yeah. Wait. This is going to be really close. Yeah, he has Tucker left, maybe, and Mark Andrews. No, I think that you won. I feel like it's pretty safe. What's your thoughts on Herbert since Eckler came? He's had 3 bad weeks in a row compared to when Eckler was out. I have Eckler on 2 playoff teams, but the checkdowns and lack of running. What do you guys think? Do you think it's hurting Herbert, or do you think it's more matchup based, or what?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's as much matchup because honestly, in the last 3 weeks since his kind of downfall, I mean, his last big week, but he was pretty consistently putting up in the 30s, at least in this league. And I mentioned before, I think it's juiced a little bit. But Buffalo, he put up 19, which for this league, 19 is like below average. New England, he had 2, and then Atlanta had 22. And Atlanta is like one of those like dream matchups. So I mean, obviously, he's making you a little nervous. I think a couple weeks ago, I was just like he's a start and like set and start and leave it go until further notice. But I think that's probably right around when you start hitting that wall. So, I mean, it's obviously a cause for concern if it's been since Eckler came back when his numbers have drastically reduced. And I don't know if it's the game plan's been changing to get him the ball more, but Eckler's not even been that productive, has he, fantasy wise? I know he had that first week he went off, but I don't know the last couple
I
of
think
them
he had
because
a
I don't have
decent
him on anything.
He had a decent week this week. I think he had like 70 some yards rushing. What do you think, Giggs?
I think he's a rookie and he had to hit a wall eventually, and it's all about how he bounces back from it. So looking at his stats of the Falcons game, he didn't put up the godly numbers he was putting up all year, but he still got you 2 touchdowns, 250 yards almost, 99.6 QBR. I think I'm reading this correctly, 81.8% completion percentage. He lost Mike Williams during that game. I know it was a cake matchup, but I'm still really impressed with him. I think he's 3 touchdowns away from having the record for most passing touchdowns for a rookie. I'm sure he's aware of that, if I'm aware of that. So I just think there's just a lot of pressure on the guy. They're not really playing for anything this year, but they keep finding themselves in close games, whether it's with a good opponent or bad opponent, and they lose. This week they got the W, but I think this year is all about just growing pains for Herbert. He's finding like his role. Like, what do I need to do? Do I have to sling it? Can we just whittle him away with dump offs to Austin Eckler? But yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm concerned with Eckler's return. More so just where's Herbert at mentally? And I think he's in a good place. I think the guy is a bona fide stud, and I feel comfortable starting him just about any week. He's almost matchup proof in my opinion. That one New England game, that's the only blemish on his entire rookie campaign that makes you question the guy. Because other than that, he's been outstanding.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried, especially if you don't have like a good backup and you're saying like maybe thinking about playing I don't know, like Philip Rivers or somebody. Like no. Like there's not much I would start over Herbert. I would just continue rolling him out. He's like, yeah, it was a little disappointing last week because it was a beautiful matchup, but he still got like 20 plus fantasy points. So it's fine. Just continue to roll him out, in my opinion. RB1. Oh, wait, let me see here. I got to go back. Kirsty says I don't go through all the questions. I got to make sure I'm doing this. So Nelson Aguilar is the best waiver wire ad. Oh, come on, MP. No, he is a good waiver wire ad. They played the Chargers this week. He had a good week last week. He's kind of like a guy where he disappears for a week. It's mainly when Carr struggles, and then the other weeks he does well when Carr's doing well. This week, I think that I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this game because it's a divisional game with the Chargers. It could be a high scoring affair. I wonder what has Vegas said. Do they have that game up yet? Can you see it?
I can look.
I wonder what the over-under is for that game. I didn't actually look that far because sometimes they do have them. I wonder if it'll be after the game tonight that they'll have it up.
Chargers Raiders 53.
53. So yeah, it should be a decent scoring affair there. 53. So he is a good waiver wire ad for sure if he's available in your leagues. I can't imagine. Maybe people would drop them, but like I was more like going with some deep dives there. If he's available, for sure, he's a decent plug and play.
What do you mean, MP, if Herbert had Tyreek Hill and Kelsey? He has Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry. Those two alone are beasts. I don't think Hunter Henry's as good as Travis Kelsey, but Keenan Allen is one of the premier wide receivers in the league. That guy is an absolute
Well,
animal.
I want to say this. I thought it was hilarious when Chris
oops.
Collinsworth said
I
this.
don't know why that minimized. You're good, though. Keep
Cole
talking about
Beasley
this.
might be the best
Yeah,
slot
the
receiver in the NFL.
No,
He's crack.
He said he might be. This is literally verbatim what he said. He said about Cole Beasley last night. Cole Beasley might be one of the best, if not the best slot receiver. He literally said, if not the best slot receiver in the NFL last night. Chris Collinsworth, what the hell are you smoking? He's nowhere near one of the best.
He's
Are you kidding?
smoking. You know what he was thinking about? He was thinking about all the 14-year-olds he's been hitting up. Did you see that video of him and when he got drafted? My favorite girls are the high school girls because they're not smart enough. My favorite age is the 14 to 17-year-old range. Yeah, he literally him saying that. It's really awkward, and I don't understand how that guy's
Hopefully
on
it was a
national
joke.
television. No, he's serious.
No, but I mean, come on. You got like Keenan Allen is the best slot receiver in the NFL.
He catches everything.
You'd say Tyler Boyd. I wouldn't even say he's better than Juju. He's not better than Juju.
Right.
Like, are you kidding me? Sure, he's had a decent season this year, but he's nowhere near the best. Chris Collinsworth. Come on. So let's see. Leonard Fournette. Okay, answer that one. Yes. I gotta just make sure I answered all these. No. Okay. What's Tucker's ceiling? Tucker's ceiling is probably like 20. I feel like he's gotten over 24 points before.
Even with the weather, you think?
MP
is okay. Well,
MP.
Not for tonight. Just like his overall ceiling.
MP probably has a Gibson Stan account on Twitter. It's probably just all Antonio Gibson themed.
Just his pictures.
Yeah, all his he uploads every day. It's like a Korean pop band account. You know how they upload like hard eye emojis and stuff. That's what he does. Is that true, MP? Can you confirm or deny that in the chat, please?
I'd say Tucker's ceiling tonight is probably, I'd say like 15 points. I feel like that's a ceiling. Yeah. I'd say he probably gets around 8 or 10 tonight. Maybe a little bit more, depending on it depends on how far they can actually kick the ball. That'll be the biggest factor is what is his longest that he'll be able to kick. Is it going to be 50 plus or is it going to be 40? So that's going to be the deciding factor for tonight. RB1 Drake. Hey, Drake's been playing really well. He's come back finally. After the first half of the season, basically, he was not good. Now he is, thankfully. Imagine Herbert has Tyreek and Kelsey. I still don't think he'd be as good as Mahomes, but Kelsey is the biggest mismatch in the
That's what I
entire
was just
NFL.
talking about. Well, that's what I. Well, what
He
do you
would be
mean?
like Mahomes. I don't think like here's the this like
I don't think.
Mahomes is amazing. Okay,
Right.
Mahomes does things that some other quarterbacks like the pass last night to Dawson Knox, when Tannehill or not Tannehill when Josh Allen was escaping the pocket. Dawson Knox did get interfered with by Mike Hilton, but still, like the ball was a little bit too high. Mahomes would have put that right on the money. Like that's the difference. Football is a game of inches. Like if you put that ball an inch or two higher, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, but it is a big deal. Like Mahomes puts it always on the money every single time, no matter what his throwing motion is. The dude is incredible. Or is like Big Ben last night. That deep ball he overthrew or he underthrew that ball by a lot because he was flat-footed. He couldn't step into the throw. Mahomes last night would have put that ball right on the fucking money, flat-footed. That's just the difference. Um, Imagine Antonio Gibson is free. Come on.
Well, I was gonna say too is, could you imagine if Mahomes had Keenan Allen?
Well,
It'd
he'd
be
be like
disgusting.
it basically be like Travis Kelsey, I'd imagine.
Keenan
Yeah,
Allen's a beast.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I think Keenan Allen's way more versatile than Tyreek Hill is an absolute deep threat, which is a benefit for Mahomes because he can just launch the ball. But I think if he had Keenan Allen, I think Keenan
Well,
Allen spreads the entire field so much better than Tyreek Hill. But Tyreek
no,
Hill
see,
is
I'll
such a
say
deep
this.
threat. I'm not saying Tyreek Hill's a bad all-around receiver. He's
No, I
through
agree.
the years he's gotten way better. Like a few years ago, he was just a one-trick pony, but now he can run routes, he can get separation, he
Yeah, but
understands
are
it.
you saying that if they replaced? Because here's the thing: is that they're kind of like yin and yang, in my opinion. You have Tyreek takes the top off the offense, so they have to play two. You have to play
Yeah, but
safety
McCole
high.
Hardman, I feel like could do that though.
Not as
No.
good as Tyreek Hill, no.
Yeah, no, probably not as much, but I think he's
Because
emerging
then,
as
because you
that
have
type of
that.
guy for
If
sure.
you took away Kelsey and put Keenan Allen in, then I think that's more comparable than taking Tyreek. Like if you took Tyreek and put Keenan Allen in, it wouldn't be the same offense because they have to worry about Tyreek's speed. The dude can get behind you, so you have to play your safeties high because if you're in single coverage, you're gonna get burnt. So and then that opens up everything for Kelsey over the middle.
Yeah, I guess. I just think there's a lot of guys who can burn a lot of guys in the NFL. I'm not
No,
saying
for sure,
Tyreek I don't think he's necessarily the fastest. I think
he
there's a
might
lot
be.
of receivers. I think there's a lot of receivers who are probably just as fast. They just don't have A, the quarterback, and B, probably the experience that he's gained from going against so many different defenses because they've been in so many different positions, and I don't know, he's just excelled, plus one of the best coaching staffs in the league. I'm not trying to say he's not, or he's not as good as Keenan Allen, because there's not really a conversation, really. I don't, with wide receivers, you
No, they're
can't
just
really
two completely
compare.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
they're
can't
two
compare.
completely different kinds of wide receivers. But he's
He
definitely
has emerged as a guy who's definitely way more versatile, though. Tyreek Hill has this
yeah,
year.
and he has. Here's the difference: is that in the beginning he had Alex Smith, and Alex Smith isn't going to be throwing the ball downfield. He's not going to be testing the defense out. Where Mahomes will literally throw any type of throw he
He
wants to
does
throw.
literally just launch it downfield too. I mean, there's
So
a skill into it. I'm not saying he just bombs it downfield like Russell Wilson, but
what's up? What's up, Don? How you doing? Drop to say hello. Well, we appreciate you saying hello. No, you're tripping. Who's tripping? Oh wait,
I think
about
he's talking
Gibson.
about me. Yeah, when I
MP
said
and Car
Hill.
or MP and Carlson were going back a little
Well,
back and forth a little
I
bit.
think
Can you answer
Carlson
my
said yep
question?
to what I said, and because he replied right after, and then I think Gibson did after.
What
But
was your question, Carlson?
I saw a question was retracted from Carlson. I was looking at it for a second, but then there was one taken back.
should I
So
start Cam?
oh yeah, yeah, that one.
Which one was it?
Cam
Oh,
Akers,
should
Miles Sanders, David Montgomery, Mostert, or Dobbins. Choose one.
Cam Akers for sure for me, and then I'll go Sanders personally.
Rams are
Sanders
on
against
win now
Arizona,
mode.
and I'm maybe Dobbins is definitely in the conversation as well. Dobbins plays Jacksonville next week. You just see what Jacksonville got just happened to them. I mean, I know it's Derrick Henry, but still 200 yards by one player is insane. So Dobbins is definitely in play. It depends on tonight. We'll see what happens. Say Dobbins goes out there and he's the guy, then 100%, in my opinion, Akers and Dobbins. But if not, if he's still sharing, then me personally, I'd go Sanders and Akers.
So is Akers an RB1 the rest of the season? Then is that what we're going with? I mean,
I mean, he
obviously
gets the
proved it with
Jets
the
next week,
touches.
so
Yeah.
that's why I like. He's definitely a top 10 play for me. But if he sees, I mean, I know it's a small sample size, but it's one game, and he saw what was it, 29 or 26?
Yeah, he had
Was it
29 rushing
29?
times.
So I mean, hey, this is a team. If you guys remember that playoff, that Super Bowl run that they had, it was literally, what was his name? Anderson. What was the running back's
CJ?
name?
CJ
Yeah,
Anderson?
CJ Anderson. Yeah, wasn't it CJ Anderson? Wasn't that who it
Yeah,
was?
that might have been. I was
Yeah.
like, I was so confused. I'm like, this dude. Yeah, I
Who?
think I remember that now. He actually did have a
When
successful
they had their
run there.
Yeah, when they had the playoff, when they went to the Super Bowl that year.
Who?
Todd Gurley was banged up.
Right?
CJ Anderson.
Yeah. I was gonna say they had Todd Gurley, but yeah, I don't think he even had a snap in the Super Bowl, did he?
I think he may have had just a couple. Yeah.
Akers gets the Jets next week, and then Seattle in week 16.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll roll with Akers. The dude's been a stud. Would you agree
Yeah.
with that, Giggs, or
I
what?
would say two
Or
people
who
I'm
would you go?
sitting the rest of this year are Antonio Gibson and Josh Jacobs. Go ahead, Giggs, if you want, if your dog's not barking.
Who's he asking? Keep who?
No, he's start who? Cam Akers, Miles Sanders, David Montgomery, Raheem Morris, or Mostert, J.K. Dobbins. Start two. Or choose one. Oh man, that's
Jeez.
choose one.
Yeah, I honestly have not done enough research in this coming week yet. I've really only just looked over what happened this past week, but on paper, I would probably go Miles Sanders. I think with Hurts, Sanders is going to be good going forward. Yeah, I just haven't done enough research to really.
I
give
think
you
those two are
one.
close. Akers and Sanders. I'd probably give it because it's the matchup's a little bit better. I'd probably go Akers slightly over Sanders.
Akers has who? The Jets.
Yeah.
Choose
They should
one.
blow.
How do you have all of those guys? I just don't fucking understand this. Like my team goes Aaron Jones, Kenyon Drake, Duke Johnson. This guy's team goes Cam Akers, Miles Sanders, David Montgomery, Raheem. Like I don't get it.
Well, to be fair, like Cam Akers, I'm sure he was dropped in a lot of leagues.
I added him last week in my one league.
So I'm sure he was dropped. J.K. Dobbins possibly could have been dropped as well. Like there was, for the first, I'd say like 6 games, he wasn't even really used until Pittsburgh. And then people were like, okay, here we go. And then after that, he was disappointing. Montgomery, same thing. I mean, did people drop him? He was definitely on the borderline of droppable a couple weeks ago. And then Raheem Mostert, I mean, IR. So Drake is RB1. I think so. They're playing the Eagles this week, but I mean, right now he's scoring touchdowns. Ride the touchdowns while it lasts. Imagine Herbert has Tyreek Hill. Or wait, I did.
Yeah, we were through some of these. Yeah.
That's why I don't have the chat completely updated. Let's see. Even scarier, Gibson free. What do you guys think of Connor? Connor sucks. No, he doesn't suck. Steelers suck. Steelers got pass happy. That's how they've been for weeks now. The Steelers can't run the foot. Steelers just suck in general. I don't even want to talk about it. I'll go off. I'll get so mad. They're trash.
I
Imagine.
thought you get all this anger out in our pre-show, and I thought that's what the
No,
pre-show's for. That's why we get on.
I had to buy a video game last night because I was so mad. I was like, I need something to relieve my stress, so I bought a video game. Was playing a video game, which Cyberpunk 2077. That's what it is, right? I bought that last night. I'm telling you what, the game's pretty good so far. So if you're into video games, Cyberpunk is pretty solid so far. Imagine Aaron Jones getting that carry. Yeah, getting those carries. Yeah, that's what I'm saying with Aaron Jones right now. Can you really trust him in the first round of drafts next year? I don't. It depends on where he goes. What's best case scenario you think for Aaron Jones?
I am completely comfortable taking him first round again.
Like what team?
Yeah, what team?
Ooh. Let's come back to that. I was quick response was going to say the Buccaneers because they have a good offensive line, but there's just too many passing options.
And man, they don't. That offense doesn't look that good right now.
Yeah.
I would say like it would be exciting to see him play with. I guess they probably have more years. I don't know what David Johnson's contract was. I was going to say Houston, but I don't know what David
Or
Johnson's contract.
Arizona.
Arizona, because Kenyon Drake's I'm pretty sure only on a 1-year deal, so
Yeah,
that
I
could
think
be a
he's
good
done
one.
after this.
You guys don't
The
think he
Steelers?
stays in Green Bay?
I don't think so. I honestly think that they're hoping Rodgers leaves soon. To be honest with you, they didn't do Rodgers any favors this year in the draft. They drafted more towards okay, let's draft for the future. So I just feel like they're like, okay, new regime. Let's get Rodgers. Yeah, he's old. He'll be
'Cause let's
done
be
here in a
real, if
couple
they don't
years.
win it this year, like this is one of their best years to win it. Like honestly, this year, like how much better is their defense gonna get? In all reality, they can add a couple pieces, it'll get a little bit better. Their offense could get a little bit better. I mean, but you still have
Even
Devontae Adams. I don't know. I mean, who else you
even their
got?
defense, they let some people walk on their defense too. I mean, Blake Martinez they let walk, and
Yeah,
he's having like a stud year for the Giants.
What's his name?
Mike
Daniels. Yeah,
Daniels,
Mike
yeah,
Daniels.
Mike
He's in
Daniels.
Cincinnati. Yeah, I don't.
And here's the thing with running backs is that Aaron Jones is going to want top dollar. They're not going to pay. I don't think that they'll pay him top dollar for a guy that they're using as a rotational guy. Not rotational. He's still the lead back, but they're still giving Jamal Williams plenty of carries. And this is the same dude, LaFleur, that was screwing up Henry, and then finally let Henry go off for the last 4 weeks, and he did amazing that season. But Matt LaFleur
We
just
need
likes to
DeMarco
rotate
Murray.
guys. He likes to rotate his guys. So I just think that they let him walk personally. I think he leaves. It's not a matter of him wanting to sign because I'd imagine he'll want to sign, but I just feel like they're like he'll want too much money and they'll just let him walk. That's just
And
running
they
backs right
drafted
now.
Dylan.
Yeah, they drafted Dylan. Jamal Williams is also a free agent. I'm sure that I believe this season as well. So we'll see what happens. Benny Snell is getting touches. Benny Snell, I'll tell you what, Benny Snell, they both.
Derek, I'll tell you what. I'm pretty sure a lot of Green Bay fans said the same thing about Brett Favre. Look how that turned out. I don't think Green Bay's not. They're not single ownership. They're owned by hundreds of people. That's how they've always been. It'll never change.
So
If Rodgers' time is up, if they feel like they have somebody better, they'll move on. That's how every team is. Dallas didn't give a shit about Tony Romo. If you don't offer, that's how Pittsburgh's probably going to be with Roethlisberger. If he goes down next week and Josh Dobbs or Mason Rudolph or they just pop off and then they go to the playoffs and Roethlisberger's still not healthy and they're winning, I'm sure Pittsburgh will be like, Ben, we love you, but we're not paying you $25 million next
Pittsburgh's
year.
really like that. They don't keep players around for nostalgia.
Yeah, they
They
don't
will-
give a shit.
They go.
let me give you my take on that Green Bay stuff real quick. This is just my belief. Green Bay needed a backup quarterback who could come into the game and actually win them a game, because I have watched 2 seasons where Aaron Rodgers goes down and you might as well just flush your season down the toilet. There's no hope of you guys winning. You're flexed out of primetime games. I've never seen a team suck so bad when they lose their starting quarterback. You guys as Steelers fans know damn well last year, if you didn't have that defense, you guys were going to get destroyed every game, because you had Mason Rudolph. You drafted that one kid out of Tennessee, Dobbs.
Well, they traded him last year.
Right.
Before.
My point is, like, you guys have drafted guys who've reinvigorated Big Ben to play better football. Big Ben goes, yeah, maybe I'll retire next year. You guys draft a quarterback. He goes, no, I think I could play 5 more. I think I'm good. This was just, in my opinion, if they're ready to get rid of Rodgers, I know his contract's coming up. That's fine. It makes sense. You now have a cute quarterback for the future. But if Rodgers goes down, you actually have a chance to win ball games because your defense isn't pitiful and you got 2 good running backs. And I think Aaron Jones is a stud. I think Aaron Jones is a beast in this league. He's always an efficient runner. He can catch. He gets in the end zone. I think he's a stud. So in my opinion, Green Bay, they have a very good chance to get into the playoffs 2 more years after. Like, I don't see the NFC North getting much stronger in the near future. Minnesota, maybe, but I still think Chicago is a ways off from figuring things out. Their quarterback situation isn't good. They only have Allen Robinson as their true playmaker outside. Montgomery's serviceable, but that defense is falling apart. Khalil Mack isn't the same player he used to be. Green Bay can get an easy 4 or 5 wins interdivision.
Well, and that's just my point, though. Is say that does happen. Buy Rodgers. Bye Rodgers. Jordan Love comes in, and it's like Rodgers was never there. Okay, they're just gonna move on, and that's my point. But that needs to be proven. Obviously, they don't see it out of Jordan Love. They're not just gonna say this season's over, and they go and maybe they lose in the NFC Championship, but they feel like Jordan Love has a good camp. They're not just gonna say bye Rodgers or whatever. Like, it's just ridiculous. I'm not saying that. Obviously, he might get an extension, but I don't think it's gonna be anything long term. Personally, too. I don't know. I'm not.
I can see like what they're going to do with Drew Brees. We don't really know how much longer you have. Maybe we can just keep giving you a 1 year with a player option or something along those lines, so they can keep stringing them along until they can say, hey, it's time to cut ties. But if you look at their record the past 2 years, they've been a top dog in the NFC. In my eyes, they're a team that can make the Super Bowl this year. I don't think that they're the best team in the NFC, but I mean, the Eagles just beat the Saints. I know they don't have Drew Brees, but like, anything can happen this year. We've seen a lot of crazy shit. So to me, I think Green Bay is in a position where they should be trying to compete for Super Bowls this year, next year, maybe the year after that, because hitting that restart button, that's going to be a long restart, a very long restart, in my opinion.
No, I agree. But I mean, but this one I'll say to counter is like, you don't think that you could have added somebody of Jordan Love's level through free agency if you wanted to win now? Like, why wouldn't you use that pick on somebody that's going to help you win now in terms of like they need another wide receiver. Sure, you can say Alan Lazard's it, but they could have gotten somebody in the draft. And then like, to me, the pick that makes no sense is the running back in the second round. Like, the running back to me makes no sense unless you're planning on either Aaron Jones leaving, Jamal Williams leaving, one of these two guys leaving is all like. But that's also preparing for the future.
Not even
as well.
offensive line. Like
Like,
that would have been. That's even a bigger question mark too, though. Is like, why?
Yeah, or a pass rush.
Even for both scenarios you're talking about, though. Like, why wouldn't you get an offensive lineman for both scenarios?
And I don't think that like Aaron Rodgers is on his way out by any means. I don't think that as well. Like, I just think that in my opinion, Aaron Jones is going to want too much money. And I just think that they'll let Aaron Jones go because he's going to want too much money, and they're not going to want to pay him, and he'll be gone. And it's not. I think Aaron Jones is one of the best running backs in the NFL, but I think that Aaron Rodgers could definitely make up for that. Like, it's going to hurt him a little bit, but not that much. Like, I think his production will be able to be replicated, especially through the draft as well. Like, running backs kind of nowadays are like a dime a dozen, unfortunately, and they're going later. And they're going later and later in drafts. So you don't have to spend like a top 4 pick on these guys anymore. You can get them at the second round nowadays. So we'll see. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers is on his way out by any means, unless Jordan Love comes in, he plays well, and Aaron Rodgers wants $40 million next year. At that point, what do you do? And that's just how the NFL is on the brink of something drastic happening. The quarterbacks, in my opinion, can't keep upping the price each and every single year. I think that there's going to come a point where a team's going to be able to figure out how to combat that, and
especially when
start paying quarterbacks or having quarterbacks going elsewhere and plans like the Patriots try to do this year. It didn't work out.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, like I think that there's a bunch of decent quarterbacks that are serviceable are going to be coming up.
How much longer does Carson Wentz have on his contract, Ryan?
Through 2022.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if they literally could just cut ties with him, not have to worry about the cap loss next year, and all the pieces they could put around Hurts if he's like actually pretty good and they actually have potential? That's frustrating. That has to be infuriating. But
What's
no, there's a market value for quarterback. Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like there's this market value for quarterbacks. There's no way it can continue to
happen. Like I'm sorry, I just can't.
Even like, Kirk Cousins, he doesn't even deserve the money.
You're telling me that Kirk or Jared Goff deserve that contract? Like there's no way.
Not at that point.
that guy's replaced. Like he has to be replaceable, and I think that teams just figure out a way to make it replaceable.
They all
because
live
you
on
can't
hype. The NFL lives on hype. That's why they live on Twitter.
that was after Jared Goff just had like the worst stretch of games in his career. Like that was terrible when Jared Goff that Super Bowl run. He was so
awful.
bad. He
They
was
scored
so bad
3
during that time.
points in the Super Bowl.
Yo, let's go through there's a lot of comments. Let's go through them and then
They're
talk
all
about the
MP.
game for like
you just want
10
us.
minutes.
You just want us to read all the Steelers comments from MP.
No.
Yeah, you do.
We already
Yeah.
talked about where we
MP,
think
it's
Aaron
fine.
Jones will sign. I just thought a little bit more. One sleeper one that I just kind of popped into my head. The Dolphins. If they're not sold on the young guys that are in there right now, with Tua being there, if they think that team's not too far off, because their defense is really good, they're paying a lot of money to the 2 cornerbacks. If they feel like they're just like a running back away, then that's one that just
That's a good
popped in my
one.
head. Derek said, "Didn't Favre retire then come back to a different team?"
No.
He didn't retire and then come back to the
No, they just
Vikings.
No,
He went to the
he got
Jets
traded
before.
to the Jets.
Jets. My
They
bad, my
traded
bad.
him to the Jets, and then he left, or he retired, and then he went to the Vikings.
Yeah, Steelers are going to lose in the first round. The Dolphins have a better chance of making it to the Super Bowl. It's time for. He said it's time for a rebuild in Pittsburgh. Can't wait till I read this.
Listen,
then-
I'm gonna say this. Come on, let's all chill.
He's
offense can
joking
figure itself
for sure, but yeah.
And then which QB? Trubisky versus the Jags or Tua versus the Raiders for Week 16?
Oh man, it depends. We'll see. I don't want to answer that question yet, just because if Tua has his full complement of weapons, then I'd probably go Tua. But if not,
Well, why don't we think about it this way? Because I'm guessing he's asking this because he's trying to grab one this week to just hold on his bench until then. So as of right now, like then again, because if you're you versus another person in the championship,
yeah, that should
no
be,
one else should be adding them.
yeah, unless you got dirtbags. So which guys, like, don't be dirtbags. If you're out and there's nothing to play for, don't grab people off of waivers. Even if you say, hey, I still want to finish, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't like it. Like, I don't do it. I don't touch waivers or anything free agency unless you have something to play for, like last place. If you have a punishment, other than that, don't pick anybody up. Let the guys that are fighting have the full complement of waiver wire people.
And then down 21 with Hunt and Justin Tucker from Young Chris. I think that's going to be close.
Who? Hunter? What is it? What's the
He
score?
has Hunt and Justin Tucker down 21.
Ooh, that's gonna be a nail-biter. You're gonna be staying up late all night.
I need to go. So apparently, MP wants us to go through all of the Steelers because he took the Raider slander. Juju dancing on the logo before losing.
Stupid.
Steelers worst 11-2 team. Top 15 for Jones. That's from Don. He's saying the football team greater than the Steelers. Ben averages 1 interception in crunch time a game. The Steelers running backs can't run longer than 5 yards. The defense is getting worse in Pittsburgh. Gosh, MP is just going off. And then he said,
think the defense.
I mean, it's
worse.
just funny because this is like all based off like the last 3 weeks. So I mean, who cares? It is what it is.
I mean, I'll say this: like, Josh Allen didn't have he had a good second half when that defense was gassed because the offense could do nothing. The offense sucks right now in
the
Pittsburgh.
offense could have put that game away in the second quarter.
Honestly,
They
if that was
should
a
have.
competent offense, that game would have been over by halftime, 100%.
Yeah.
Because then you would have had Josh Allen running for his life for the rest of the game.
Also, Tomlin should have challenged that fumble. I don't know why he didn't challenge that.
And I'll say this about Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's a great coach. He's a great players coach, okay? Mike Tomlin is the biggest idiot when it comes to challenges. He challenges the stupidest shit. And for him to not challenge that would have been such a big swing in momentum, and then Big Ben's pick just completely changed that game. But like that would have been such a big swing of momentum. But anyways, Steelers, they suck. I'll be honest, they're not good. But let's be for real. Do you think that them versus Miami, you're just going to say Miami's going to beat them? I wouldn't say that.
No.
Like it's going to be a close game.
I mean, in all reality, I think the premier teams obviously. I don't know.
Nobody's
I mean,
beating the Chiefs. Let's be for
yeah,
real.
like it just
Nobody's
doesn't
beating the
matter.
Chiefs.
No, but I don't
You
think
had
anybody in the
Patrick
league.
Mahomes throw for 3 interceptions, yet they were still up by 20 points somehow. How does that make sense? The Chiefs are a cheat code. Nobody's beating the Chiefs.
Yeah, but that's what we were saying, MP. They're like, honest to God, I think I would rather have the Raiders offense. At least they can put fucking points on the board. You give the Raiders offense yesterday, they would have won that game. If you just would have swapped them out real quick, they would have
Could have at
won.
least ran the ball.
Yeah, but
He
no,
said it was
the
joke.
yeah, I know. No, he is. We know. I don't take
All
him
right, but
seriously.
now I'm just
But
saying for the
he's-
next 5
I-
minutes we should talk about tonight's game.
I just
a
wanted to
little
say
bit
though, he
before we
said the
start.
defense is too good though. We were talking about that. What a waste of a good defense. I know. So many people that aren't even Steelers fans get to watch this defense and they're fun to watch. What a waste of a fucking defense, dude. Such a piss off. Go ahead. Did we talk about our first touchdown? Is that what you want to say? And then give our
Yeah, we
predictions?
can talk about those. Yeah.
All right, let's do those quick. You guys, whoever's
I mentioned
ready.
mine earlier.
Okay.
I'll just
Gigs,
do.
do you have
I
yours
did.
ready?
Yes,
Go ahead,
sir.
Ryan.
I did. I have Mark Andrews. I mentioned it earlier. I like him tonight, especially with the matchup. And then for the Browns, I'll go Landry. He's playing better as of late, so I'll just do Landry on the other side of the ball. And both those guys have pretty decent odds. I'm gonna get a quick update on the weather.
And I did
See
want to
anything, but you
say,
guys can
there's
go.
nothing. It's like fine. It's just cold. There's no wind really or rain. What I just looked at, because I was gonna check in with Ollie, but he said there's really nothing going on.
17 miles an hour, but it's going down every hour to like 16, 15.
Deontay Johnson leads the NFL with 12 drops. The only player with double-digit drops this season. Yikes.
I'll go Chubb and Andrews for my first touchdown scorers.
I have the same.
See, if the Raiders let go of Derek Carr, that's who the Steelers should go after. I think tonight, my touchdown scorers, I like Dobbins, and I just think Nick Chubb's getting in there today. I think that he's going to run all over the Ravens. I think it's just going to be a run fest. My prediction, I think Ravens are going to pull this one out. I think it's going to be 31-23. No, I don't think it's going to be that high. I don't think it's going to be that high. Because I just realized they're going to run the ball a lot. So it's going to run the clock out. I think it's going to be like 24-17. I think that's a more realistic score. If any of these quarterbacks could pass, I'd say it'd be higher.
I hope to God that I'm going with, this is probably one of the few times in my life that I'm going to root for Baltimore. Baltimore, us Pittsburgh fans need a favor from you.
Woo!
That way,
I
week
love
17
Lamar.
doesn't matter.
Lamar season, baby.
Lamar is the best quarterback, the quarterback in the league.
My guy.
I say that the Ravens win tonight, although I really don't think they do, but I'm going to say it. I think the Ravens win tonight, 21-17. Ravens.
Dude, just steal my fucking score. Why don't you?
Did you say 21-17?
I said 24. I did, yeah. Just because Justin texted.
I'll say 20. I'll say 2017. Because I feel like the game's also going to kind of. Who's the Browns kicker?
Cody Parkey. He's on my fantasy team.
So I feel like kicking's going to be a big. Is going to be the swing in this game, and Justin Tucker, best kicker in the league, gets it done with the win.
I just need 5 points combined from Cody Parkey
about
and
you,
J.K.
Ryan?
Dobbins.
I'm gonna go 21-13.
Who?
Ravens. My bad.
Oh, you're not picking the Browns? I thought you picked the Browns. You guys don't think the Browns? I feel like the Browns are going to win. I just don't want to pick them.
I just don't have trust in their defense.
Who you going, Gigs?
I'm gonna pick Baltimore in this one, and I'm gonna go. Let's do 20-17.
Oh, that's the same for me, dude. Nice.
22 or 22-17.
We'll do 21-17, just
That's-
so.
Ooh. Who
just
is
so
favored?
Different.
The Ravens. 2.5.
Are they? That's surprising. I feel
Well,
like
something just changed.
it's
I don't
3.5.
know what it
Well, it's
was.
3.5 on DraftKings.
It's 3 now. Yeah.
Oh,
No, it was 3.5. It was 3.5. That's my bad.
The ESPN matchup predictor has 65.9%
just changed
Baltimore. And
again.
everybody knows that is the most accurate tool.
They're changing everything right now. They just changed it
I
'cause
feel
it's about
like
to start.
I don't know. That's surprising. I feel like the Browns are playing really good right now. The Ravens aren't.
Yeah, but I just feel like they're gonna do everything they can to like
All right, I
minimize
got to
the
change my
run.
pick. No, I'm just kidding. But I do think the Browns win tonight. But
I think they could.
I'm a big Ravens fan tonight. Come on, Ravens. So with that
All
being
right.
said, anything else in the chat?
There's one more question. Mark, our boy Mark, is up by 30.36, and his opponent has Chubb, Hollywood, and Tucker. What's his chances?
Oh boy. I think it's gonna be close.
Yeah, I think Hollywood and Chubb both have solid games tonight.
Mark, I anticipate you being up until the very end of this game, unfortunately. You're not going to be able to check out early. It's going to be a nail biter the whole way through for you, and you're going to be very, very nervous. You're each run by Chubb, you're going to be like, get him down, get him, tackle his ass. It's going to be close, I'm telling you. But you have a chance. I will say that. Definitely have a chance.
And MP, it's all good. I don't think they'll go very far in the playoffs, but I will say, if anything happens to the Chiefs, it's literally up for grabs for anybody.
And I'll say this one last thing.
Any
too.
of those three go down.
Right now, you're getting to the time where teams get hot, teams get cold. Steelers are definitely cold right now, but it can change in a week. So these next couple of weeks are prime time to see who's going to make that deep push. Right now, it looks like the Bills next week, they could come out and be flat. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen. It's still up in the air.
And there's a good chance after that loss, those two teams meet in the playoffs.
So with that being said, thank you all for
we
watching.
Appreciate it. DB, we appreciate it. You said great job. Great stream,
Thank
guys.
you.
Keep it up.
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
DB.
With that being said, thank you all for watching. We do appreciate it. We'll be back Thursday nights, or yeah, it's because no Tuesday game. Thursday night. We'll see you then. Make sure you check out the waiver wire video. See you guys.
Good luck.
I can't wait to leave this town, 'cause lately I've been feeling down.